Welcome to Podnutz Daily, episode number 331, the show for computer repair technicians by computer repair technicians. And I'm happy to be back. I feel like it's been a long time, but it's good to be back in the groove. So I'm happy to be talking to you guys. Hopefully you'll be happy to hear the show. And I appreciate everybody who came out live to watch in the chat room. It's going to be a good show because we have Timster on the show tonight, Tim Kelly from timscomputerfix.com. And I think Timster is a fitting, good person to have on right coming back from the vacation. Should we get just a blast of Timster right off the bat? What's up, Tim?
Yeah, I don't know about that. But hey, Steve, how's it going? Glad you're back. It's good to be back.
Cool. Yeah, it's good to have you here. I'm doing good, well rested, and rejuvenated. So it's awesome.
I saw you took a nice trip around the world. Many places there.
Yes, if anybody does want to know what I did on my vacation, you can just visit the Podnutz forums. There's a post. What's it called? This is what Steve C is doing on his vacation. And
Yes.
apparently I've been to Washington, D.C., Paris. I was on top of the Parthenon in Greece, I believe. I was on a Soviet space station. I went
in jail?
I was in jail. I found my old Mustang, and I was very envious of the new owner. Gosh, I worked for the Geek Squad undercover for a small period of time. It's like Harold and Kumar's, like one of those adventures. That was what my vacation was like. Just so you guys know, and you can see all the footage or photos over in the forums, the Podnutz forums. So.
I could only wish I had that much fun in a month.
It went by so fast, Tim. I didn't feel like I went to any of those places. It was so fast. It was a good time.
Okay. Yeah, I bet it was, Steve.
Yes. Well, let's talk about you, man. What's been going on in your business, and what do you want to talk about tonight?
Me, it's been a while since I've been on the show, and I've been very busy, extremely busy. My business has really taken off. It's a really good thing.
It's a great thing.
Oh yeah, and it's tough to find time to do things like this, to podcast, but I'm doing it because I just feel like that everybody out there, I like to share what I've been experiencing. I have fun podcasting, so I'm just finding my time as I go here. But I can say for sure, since I've been here last, my business has just been swamped twofold. Up until this month. I don't know what it is about November here, but it kind of tapered off a little bit. So I don't know what it is. The holiday season in my area, I don't know.
Does it happen every year like that?
It was like this last year. November and December were a little bit slow, but it seems funny. Every time I say that, every time I think something's going to get slow, all of a sudden I got my bench loaded. And I'm used to having, 10 to 12 computers easily almost a day on my bench, and just hasn't been quite that productive lately, but that's okay. I can't complain. I definitely doing more work that I've done last year. So that's the idea. Every business wants to grow every year. So if you're growing and your next year is bigger than the year before, and you're profiting more, then that's the goal of every business, I would think.
It is. I mean, you could look at statistics short term and say, gosh, what am I doing wrong? And then you look at it in the long term and you see that you got like an uptrending average, which is good. I mean, it's also nice to handle the short term lulls, but as long as you could kind of pinpoint what went wrong, or, well, you know what? It was my experience in the business that it just came in waves, and it just, every time I started to get worried that I wouldn't have a lot of business, the next week I'd be swamped. And I started to adjust and learn that this business it's got ups and downs, and then I don't know if there's a way to control it, but I know that I wasn't, but it wasn't really a problem because business kept coming in.
It was like that last year with me. Things came in waves. Like it would get like slow, and then I get slammed, and then it gets slow, and I get slammed. But this year is way different. I mean, I stayed constantly steady busy from like February all the way through this year. So I don't know. I'm doing something right.
Yes, definitely.
And I'm trying to get more involved with businesses, small businesses. I'm still not there yet. I've dealt with a couple small businesses with some servers and some SCSI drives, and that, and trying to get into a little bit more of a data recovery with some affiliates that I'm getting involved with, to try to make some money there.
Sweet.
So Max, wow. I mean, I have some up and down stories about Max.
Max Monty?
Yeah, Max Monty.
From Max M Technology?
Max, no. I mean, Macintosh Computers.
Oh. So you've been messing around with Max.
I've been dipping my hand in the Max status here for a while. But
what do you think?
I've had some successes and I've had some horror stories, which may be one thing I may talk about here tonight. But the one thing I would like to talk about that I don't think has been mentioned much here is, what do you do when you get a water damaged computer or laptop into your shop? Well, the very first thing that you should think of if you get a water damaged computer in your shop, in other words, I'll give you an example. This guy had his laptop open on his screened in porch up north, running, and nobody was around. And it was a screened-in porch, mind you, so, rain or whatever. But a surprise tornado came through his area, and rain blew sideways.
Mm-hmm.
And it pretty much soaked up his computer while it was running, and his computer then proceeded to shut off.
Right.
And from that point, it never turned on again.
Right.
His guy, it's a Dell computer. Up north, his main computer guy who has search, Dell search, and I'm not talking bad about anybody that has search by no means, told him that, he didn't even look at it. Just said, was it on when it got wet? He said, yeah. He said, yeah, it's toast. Forget it. It's toast. Just, don't even try to get it repaired. Well, he brought it to me. He has another home down here in the South where I live, and he decided to give it a shot since, I do offer free estimates, but in this case, whenever you get a water damaged computer in, water cooled in a sense,
yeah.
But yeah, you charge, even if, just give them a flat rate for a diagnostic fee. Don't back down from that, because there's no telling. You could go through this actually, you need to completely disassemble the laptop all the way down to the bare bones.
Exactly.
So there's
gotta be more than a diagnostic.
There's no guarantee at all whether it's going to, you're going to be able to fix it or not. So I wouldn't even just charge a small diagnostic fee. I would charge
full rate,
a disassembly fee.
Right.
I mean, I would
an
hourly rate maybe.
Right.
Just at least for 1 hour. But I've done this twice. I've done this twice I've had success twice with this. I have attempted this many times, sometimes with no success. But what I do is, here's my process. Like I said before, I completely disassemble the laptop and I get it all the way down to the bare bones.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously what you're going to see whenever you get down to the motherboard and the daughter boards and all the other components that are on that computer, you're going to see corrosion. You're going to see this white stuff, this flaky stuff,
right, that
looks like it's bridging all the components. And it almost, you'd almost look at it and go, oh man, this thing's toast.
Mm-hmm.
But here's how I clean up these, to at least attempt to bring them back.
Yes.
There are these things called sonic baths. They use ultrasonic waves. I don't have one yet, but I want to invest in one. I wish I had a link, really. But there are products you can buy that are relatively affordable that you could actually dip and put your electronic components in. It's a liquid. And they use ultrasonic sounds to deep clean, even in the areas you can't even get to with toothbrushes or anything, to be sure that this process I'm about to talk about is done completely. But without the ultrasonic bath equipment, I use a few things. I use contact cleaner, isopropyl alcohol, canned air, and a toothbrush. So basically what I do is I take the components outside, and I have an outside bench, and I take the contact cleaner on the area that's really corroded, and I just blast it.
Right.
Just blast it. Oh, and you need a rag too, just kind of sop up. The contact cleaner, evaporates really quickly. You don't have to worry about further damaging the board. I mean, really, what more damage are you going to do here?
Right.
I mean, some people say dishwasher or whatever. I don't know, but so, and then I take a toothbrush and I just start scrubbing. Then I take the isopropyl alcohol and I just start, I dip my toothbrush in that and I just start scrubbing. And actually, I don't just do it where I see the corrosion. I do it over the entire surface.
Right. Because you can never tell how much is damaged.
Front and back.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I get into every crack and crevice I can get to, and I do it twice, 3 times. Even if it looks clean, I'll go back over it. That contact cleaner, man, is awesome stuff, by the way. I love that. And you just every component, every PCB that's in there, just blast it. And with the isopropyl alcohol, the contact cleaner, and then you can use the canned air to kind of kind of blast out the areas that the air can't get to too well, to increase the evaporation, speed time. Well, I have actually brought this particular computer back to life.
Nice.
Pieced it all back together, and it got brought back to life. Now, don't get me wrong. What I do is I test the board before I go putting the keyboard, the power button. Well, you need the power button, but before I put like the DVD drive in, the hard drive in, I test that board bare bones, which, by the way, is the proper way to diagnose, any laptop.
Now, when you say bare bones, you mean processor, memory, and power, right?
Not even memory. I just want to see
if it lights up.
Yeah, you want to plug in you want to have the heat sink on.
Mm-hmm.
You want to put that back on. Okay, whenever I do the cleaning, I take the heat sink off too.
Of course.
But put the heat sink back on. You want to plug in the processor fan, because sometimes some motherboards don't even power up without the processor fan plugged in.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to plug that in, plus, the power button and the power adapter. And then you press the power button, and if you see the little LED lights come on the board and you see the fan spin up, then you're in good shape.
Or you got a good chance.
Yeah, you're at least you at least got a fighting chance.
Right.
So then from there, what I do is I just slowly, really from there, what I would do is just plug in the LED. Just
the
plug
screen.
in the display. Yeah, plug in the display and see if you at least get a display. And if you're getting a display, even more.
Yes. You don't put memory in yet?
No memory. Not to at first, not to power up. I mean, your fans will still spin up. Maybe after the display, if you don't get a display, try a stick of memory.
I've had computers not boot up or not show something on the display if there's no memory there.
Right. Well, that's why I say, at least with bare bones, with the fan, you see the fan spin up and the LED lights, you're good. If you hook up the display and you don't get a display, like you say, don't forget, maybe a stick of memory might be a good idea to get your display to fire up. But, dude, I brought this, I pretty much put every component back together on this computer, and turns out that the keyboard was just bad on it after that.
Really? Was the keyboard causing it to not power on? Or?
No.
Okay.
I mean, the actual corrosion that was on that motherboard was the problem.
But the only thing that was toast was the keyboard, like that had to be replaced.
Yeah, gotcha. That took the brunt of the water, you know. So obviously the keyboard is probably not going to work. But, you don't want to keep trying to turn on a computer when there's corrosion like that, because what it's doing is bridging components, on the board. And, the more of a chance you stand